Oh, hello there. Weren't expecting a second episode now, were you? Well, I don't know. This feels a little bit weird, but I don't really want to talk about politics right now, but I do want to talk. I'm a little bit caffeinated. I'm a little bit burnt out from my job, and I don't know. It's been a hot minute since I've said anything real about myself, not to narcissist out here, without hiding behind some sort of performative breadcrumbing, hinting, cryptic messages that are clearly meant for only one person and not the entire audience, etc., etc. This is more of just like, hey, I'm not going to talk about current events here. I just kind of need to make it clear what's going on in my life right now because, yeah, the show is consistently back every week, but I've been late the last couple of times. The last few times. I'm pretty sure there was a week that I took a week off, and I planned on taking this week off initially, but here we are with the second episode. I guess that's kind of just how I operate. I say one thing, and I feel like I mean it, and then a day or two later, I go and I do the exact opposite. I don't know what that's about. That's something that I'm trying to get to the bottom of because it does not happen at my job. Thank God, because as the patient advocate at this hospital, I can't believe I'm giving my position out here, but sorry for the burp. As the patient advocate at this hospital, communication in holding yourself to a certain standard and keeping every single promise, every single time that you say to a pet owner or to a pet or to a coworker, I've got you, and sustaining that promise and following through on it, that's something that is consistently a part of my life. But when it comes to everywhere outside of my job, I'm finding that I'm so fucking exhausted that I end up just withdrawing from everything else. And that sounds sad. Yeah, it sounds like a really bad thing. Like, I see my friends a lot, yes. But, there's certain things in my life where I find myself falling back. I got my head on my bills. I'm on time on the shit that I need to be. I pay my own rent. I got, my cat is fed. She's up to date on her vaccines, etc., etc. But then you look at other aspects of my personal life, like dating. Let's talk about dating for a second. There's nothing happening there. Not only because I've been abstinent now for a full 365 days. Today's the anniversary, by the way. Fucking awesome. But the problem now, as somebody who is starting to feel not antsy, not like they have cabin fever, not like they're just horned up and need to put it in something, but like I want to get back out there. I do crave that interpersonal connection and that bond and, to be somebody's something or to be somebody's someone or all of that, as superficial as it sounds. But then I find myself once I am talking to somebody and they are like a great person and I am enjoying the conversation, I still find myself practicing avoidance. It's like amazing people in my life that want to connect, that want to meet up, that want to come over and see what is what. And it's not necessarily that I don't want them. I do. I think I do. But every time I get a message, every time there's something I have to respond to, it takes me like 2.5 business days. And I don't want people in my life to take that personally. Even though I get back to my friends immediately, even though my coworkers hear from me before they text me for something, it's this one particular thing, really. Like dating. It's where the avoidance has gone. It's like playing whack-a-mole. And every time I solve some sort of aspect of it, it shows up in a different element of my life. And that's annoying. See, this has nothing to do with the Epstein Files or Donald Trump or politics or anything like that. I'm hoping that's the only time I mention this in this episode. But dating is hard, man. Dating is hard, especially when you're not doing yourself any favors. Not that I've ever, been one to do myself any favors when it comes to dating. I always find a way to sabotage things, and I always have, and I'm sure there's people that are listening to this now that are like, yeah, we know, motherfucker, piece of shit. Whether it be abandoning somebody and moving across state lines to across the country, 1,800 miles to go be with someone else to try to forget about that other person? Or 3.5 weeks later, 3 weeks later, whatever, moving back, abandoning that person and moving 1,800 miles back across the country because I missed the other person. Like, it's really ugly. Like, no matter what I try, no matter what the situation is, I'm still sabotaging that one situation I just referenced. Now, for the longest time, I've acted like I'm the only victim in that. And we've touched upon this in like a previous episode where, yeah, I do feel bad. I don't like, regardless of what happened over there, regardless of the traumatic shit that they did to me over there, communication is important. I could have like been a little bit less avoidant and a little bit more confrontational and have been honest and been like, hey, this isn't working. I'm going to go home. That's it. That is it. That's all it would have taken. Not, I'm homesick. I need to go home. I feel not great. And no, it's not you. It's not you. I'll still talk to you and like when I leave and all of that. No, it's not you. And the second I get in the car, just block, ignore. I've taken a lot of time to ask myself, rape aside, like what they did to me aside, imagine what it must be like to be on the receiving end of just a complete and utter lie of, no, it's not you. I'll still talk to you. I know we had these plans, like long-term plans for our lives, and I'm now postponing them, it seems, when in reality I'm canceling them completely and you don't know that. And I know that I made some promises, like I'm going to stay in touch and I'm not going to just block you and ignore you, but I'm going to block you. I'm not going to reply to you. It's going to take you pretending that you're pregnant and that you miscarried to get a response out of me. And without going into like victim blaming territory here, I'm like blaming myself, there are things that are my responsibility. It takes two to tango. And now here I am, like a long while later. That was 2023 in like the winter, like late 2023, December. We're now in February 2026 and it's even worse now. Like to the point where I just don't act on shit. I won't even make the decision go somewhere. I won't even make the decision to see somebody. I'll talk to them for a little bit and then they like ask me a question about like how my day is or how's your cat doing or like simple shit. And for some reason, I see that on my phone. I read it, I look at it, and I go, oh, fuck, all of a sudden I'm exhausted. And I don't know if it's because, my job entails me using my phone a lot at work for like the 10-hour shifts, where it's constantly incoming emergencies, stressed out pet parents, et cetera, and I'm like the liaison between all parties involved, using my regular phone as a work phone. There's no compartmentalization there. Meaning when I go home and I try to use my phone for leisure, it just feels like I'm working. Maybe that's part of it. I don't know. I'm just venting here. I'm venting here and I'm hoping somebody relates to this and goes, hey, you're not crazy. This is par for the course based on what's been going on. But it doesn't feel right. I don't like that I'm doing this, and maybe saying it out loud will exercise it from myself. I don't know how that works. But I would like to know. And I know it's based in trauma, but I don't want to use trauma as an excuse. I want to move forward. There's so many things I want to move past. And there's so many things that I have moved past in the last 365 days. I went to a fucking monastery over the summer to learn how to forgive myself for the death of my best friend 11 and a half years ago. I've been putting that off for 11 and a half years. Talk about avoidance. I went. They spread his ashes there that long ago, and I never went. I never said my goodbyes on my terms. I never tried to even learn why it's not my fault that he's gone. Because there's a sick part of me that wanted to continue making it my fault, that wanted to keep attacking myself for this. And that's not a way to be. That's not a healthy thing. You shouldn't be hating yourself that much where you're attacking yourself all the time. Every time you're grieving the loss of somebody that you loved and cared about, it's on you. That breaks your heart even more. So it's like I've done a lot of work to try to forget about some things. I've made peace with certain incidents in my life, like the one that I just mentioned, traveling across the country and doing stupid shit, hurting multiple people. Me taking responsibility for my part in that has been a part of that journey, a part of that healing journey, or whatever you want to call it. And I feel a lot lighter. There's a lot less grief in my system. It makes it easier to get up in the morning, to navigate work, to hang out with people. I am now a year and a month into not drinking, to not being an alcoholic, to my sober living lifestyle, whatever the fuck you want to call it, which is cool, which is great. The only time that I drink is like Christmas or federal holidays, or if it's a friend's birthday. It's not like I have that many friends. Once a month at most, and I have like one beer, and then I have a seizure. So it's like, well, I'm probably just never going to drink again. And that's fine with me. I don't feel the urge anymore. Cool. Like, there are things I almost said like checking off from the list, but that feels so non-personal. There are things I've been tackling down my list of demons that I'm trying to exercise from myself, or embrace, or just accept, so that I can move on, so I can stop chasing ghosts. And I want to say, like, 90% of the shit has been tackled. But in my household growing up, under my mom, who another trauma I've gotten over and I can joke about now, a 90% would be a death sentence. That's an F. What happened to the other 10 points? Where are they? I'll tell you. You ever just find yourself in a situation? What if I just stopped there? You ever just find yourself in a situation? I think we all have, but you ever just find yourself in a situation where you're struggling to get over somebody that you should have gotten over an extremely long time ago? You can't even necessarily make sense or explain to yourself exactly why it is that you cannot get over that person. And it's not like it's all the time, but it comes in waves. You're just having a great time at work. You just had a really successful phone call with a client who's celebrating that their dog is doing well, and I don't know. I keep saying etc. here. And you look out the window and you see the clouds and the sun and the way that the sky is, and you're like, oh fuck, oh shit, that's the golden hour. I still fucking miss her. The fuck is wrong with me? Just me? Am I the only motherfucker who feels like this? Am I the only one? And you spend all this time trying to forget, and you try a bunch of the wrong things first. You get into another relationship. You move to Colorado. That doesn't work. Months and months and months go by. Eventually, you meet someone new. You date them for like half a fucking year. You don't even think about that other person, unless that girlfriend of yours that you're currently dating brings them up, as they did repeatedly. Like, are you sure you're still not over them? They seem like a big part of your life. The way that your eyes move when you mention them, or when I mention them, doesn't seem like it's a no big deal thing, Alec. And you just sit there and you're like, no, dude, like, I love you. What are you talking about? We're together right now. Why would I even be with you if it wasn't over her? What? No, that's crazy, dude. And then that relationship ends. You spend like a week maybe grieving that. And that's about it. A week in, you're like, oh, well, they weren't really that good for me anyways. It wasn't really ideal. It was just two people that wanted very, very different things, and it wasn't going to be sustainable. And also, why the fuck did she put herself on my car insurance? That's a little bit skeezy. And things like that. It becomes easy to get over these things normally. I was in a relationship for 7 years once. There was once a time, early short news podcast days, I was engaged. I was in a relationship for 7 years. That ended in 2022. Honestly, by like a year later, I was completely over it. I don't think about that person, not like that. Like, I'll mention them if they're a part of a story in my life, like logistically, because they were there. But there's not like a side of me that really feels much strongly for or against that person. to the point where like I was talking to some coworkers because they were asking me about that relationship, why it ended, and all of that. Because they were like, "Why aren't you in New Jersey? Like, what? Like, you're from there? What happened?" And I was like, "Well, we were together for a long time. We were engaged, and she went back to college to become a professor and to get her doctorate. Went on a trip abroad and met somebody, fucked them, and broke up with me over text." And then I paused for a moment and I turned to them and I was like, "I mean, but she's a smart girl. She's a nice girl. I'm sure she's figured her shit out now, and it's probably better because I'm not there. Maybe it wasn't gonna work out." And that dude turns to me and goes, "Damn, dude, the fuck are you saying she's a nice girl? Doesn't really sound like it." But that's how I know that I'm over something like that. There's no emotional charge behind that. What happened there was despicable. And I just sit here and laugh about it. Like, yeah, I mean, she's a smart lady. I hope she's doing okay. Like, I hope she got her doctorate and she got a good job and found somebody who's in that field, so they have something to talk about and bond over. Like, people grow and they grow apart, and I work in vet med, and it took a whole fucking journey for me to figure out that I wanted to work in vet med. And part of that journey was her leaving. So it's like, wouldn't have done that, wouldn't have had even like motivation or drive to succeed on my own if I was still with that person. So maybe that's part of it too. But there's no animosity there. There's no missing that person even. There's no like leftover hardcore feelings ingrained in the back of my heart that make me think about them or yearn for them or write music about them. I was in that relationship again, like I said, 7 years. I maybe like forced myself to write 2 songs about her when we were together. And then after the breakup, I was like, I should be motivated to write the best fucking breakup music of my life. But I'm not. Like, I'm trying here and I'm forcing it, and nothing good or of substance is coming out until the next relationship after that, like a year later or whatever. Like, what was it, 8 months later? I don't know. It was like that summer after. I took some time. Not enough, I guess. I don't know. And I don't know what was going on with that person. If they're like made of fucking magic or something. But the emotional charge from the beginning there, positively, and then after it was over, negatively for a very, very, very long time, was so fucking strong. And I still don't understand why. Like, you ever you ever look up at the moon and go, "Fuck, I should call her"? You ever look up at the moon and it only makes you think about one person? What do you do in that situation? What do you do, like, where the moon is associated with one particular person to the point where when there is a full moon, you don't even want to fucking go outside anymore because you know what that's going to do. And you feel like humiliated or embarrassed because it's been a while. It's been way longer than you've ever taken to get over somebody. Yet you still find yourself looking at the sky and going, "Fuck, I miss them. Why? How do I stop this?" And you go on these journeys. You go to a fucking monastery. You start dating somebody at work. You guys have similar shit going on. You have the same seizures. You've got the same, like, you work in the same fucking place. You got similar schedules. It should be awesome. She's beautiful. She's brilliant. She's funny. But it doesn't. It doesn't work. Because the back of your fucking mind is still like, well, she's not her. This has a shelf life. She's not her. So I can't. And when that ends, you're not even fucking mad about it. You have to pretend to be upset so the other person doesn't get, like, hurt. And you can only front that facade for a little while because you still care about that person as a friend. But oh boy, if I'd be an idiot to ignore the mess that I've made out of these things, out of these situations, out of these dynamics, out of these relationships. I would be remiss if I did not open up and admit to that. That when it comes to dating, I don't think I know what I'm doing. And I don't think I ever did. And I think another reason why I've been abstinent for so long, aside from, well, I've felt this certain type of love this one time and I will never experience it again because they're not her. And the other part that I've been exploring, that I've made a lot more headway in, because it's a little more tangible for me, is what is a relationship? And what is a relationship supposed to be? In exploring that idea and that concept. And I'm kind of at the point or the stage in that where, as much as I would love to be with someone and not be, alone all the time, it still doesn't feel like for the right reasons, because I'm at the point where, like, in my understanding of the concept of a relationship, where it feels like it's a social norm that we created that isn't even real. Like, you look at other animals, other mammals, they mate. Some animals mate for life, but a lot of them don't. 60% of marriages out there, probably more now, end in divorce. My parents are divorced. Most people I know's parents are divorced. Some of them never even got together in the first place. Or some of them only married for the financial reasons and stay together because, well, yeah, that's what's like expected, I guess. But are they happy? Are they happy being stuck with one person? I don't know. I don't want to be in a situation where somebody feels like they are stuck with me, regardless of how I feel about them or how badly I would like to be stuck with them. Not only that, but this is the first year of my life that I have spent mostly alone, that I've not stayed over at like a partner's house, or like when I have dated, just stuck to like kissing and touching, and that's really it. Like, I can't take that dive. I can't take that leap of faith. I can't fully submerge myself back in a relationship for a whole number of reasons. But the two big ones are, I'm questioning if a relationship is even something that's that real as a concept. And then secondary to that and contradictory to that, I only want that with like one person in particular. And I can't. And I won't. And I won't try, because I know that it's a horrible fucking idea. And I know from my own experience that sometimes the best thing that you can do for everyone involved is to give up what your heart wants the most. Not because it's horrible, not because it's wrong, not because you're wrong for wanting it, but because it's more right for the greater good. And maybe if you want it that badly, then you shouldn't have it right now. Because if you want it that badly, where you're yearning for something or for someone, then maybe you're not ready. I've had to come to terms with that as well. And it's not super easy. But alas, we beat on, right? Boats against the current. Or we beat off into our bathroom because we don't want to tempt ourselves to find a sexual partner. I'll leave you with that fuck-ass Scott Fitzgerald type beat there. But this has been kind of the short news podcast. I guess we'll call this TSN After Hours. The first edition of that, of this new season, of this new version of the short news podcast that we've been doing the last 13, 14 weeks. I appreciate you guys, whoever you are. I truly mean that. And honestly, I'll be real. I don't think it's fair what I'm doing. I don't think it's fair what I've done. A couple of episodes or whatever with the fine, I miss her. You're unblocked. Your phone, like your phone number is unblocked. I have the same number. Call me. Whatever the fuck I'm saying at the end of these. Those telegraphed, breadcrumbed ass mixed signals. That's manipulative. It's wrong. It's not cool, and it's impulsive. Like it just comes out sometimes, and I need to be better about not, because your words have power. That's something I've had to come to terms with. Your words have impact on others. They have a ripple effect. Everything that you do does. And it's important to take other people's feelings into consideration, which I don't think I've done enough. Yeah, I do that all day at work, but outside of work, that's my problem. But that's my problem. That's not yours. So I need to stop making that your problem. I appreciate you guys, and I'll be back to talk most likely about more Epstein stuff. I appreciate you. I love you, and I'll see you on the next one.